super pumped about what is going on. Type in 777, guys, in the chat box. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's get the energy here fired up. Let's be fired up. Okay, so Salim, thank you. Who else is fired up? Papilo is fired up. Awesome. Who's fired up again? So we have 21 people on this call. All right, awesome. Mr. Amos, Richnets, Clever. Okay, good, 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 good. Now, the major the major goal, Mr. Oscar, Mr. Mark, Mr. Kenneth, awesome. Now, the major goal of this, so we are going to be doing this every Sunday, actually, every week. Now, the major goal is, first and foremost, we want this to be a webinar whereby everybody that is connected can get clarifications on concepts that have been taught. So if you have been practicing throughout the week and then maybe you made some mistakes, you didn't understand some things, you can always come on these weekly webinars on Sundays and ask your questions, and then I can answer your questions live. So if you're also joining with your laptop, we can also give you access to share your screen and then explain your challenges a bit more clearly. So that way we can give you solutions to it. So it might be some form of personalized thing for people needing support and help about the trading concept that we have. And then secondly, every Sunday we are going to be doing live analysis. So checking out a few currency pairs that might happen during the week. Right, so we'll be analyzing some pairs together, and then as we are seeing trade setups, I'll be posting some of them on the Telegram group. Right, so also if you're also seeing some trade setups that align with our strategy that we are using, you can post that link on the Telegram channel, so that everybody can benefit from your analysis. All right, so that is the concept of a community. So we want to build a very bubbling trading community whereby most people are active, a community where anybody can come and easily get support about trading. Okay, so we are helping ourselves get better. We are helping ourselves make money, and then leaving nobody behind. Okay, so it should be some form of safe space for forex traders. All right, and then trust me, we are going to do so much together by the grace of God, and more opportunities will be revealed to everybody that's connected to the community. Okay, so you also want to leverage on that Telegram group. If you have any questions, I will be able to answer you a lot quicker when you ask your questions on the Telegram group. All right, because my WhatsApp is usually very, very filled up, so I might miss some messages. But if you ask your questions on the Telegram group, I can get your questions a lot faster. And of course, even someone else that knows the answer to that question can even answer you quicker. All right, good. So the first thing that I want us to do, everybody here, is you should have gone through the library. Okay, guys, so this is the library. Okay, if you have gone through the library, type in 1. Or if you have started going through the videos in the library, type in 1 in the chat box. If you are yet to get started, type in 2. Let me just get a feel of people that have started consuming the content. All right, so everybody, when you check the what's it called? When you check the pinned post on the Telegram group, you will see link to the library. You see the link and then you see the password. So when you click on the link, you see this, you see Fwt foundation lessons, elite lessons, right? So you want to start from the foundation lessons first. Very, very important. Now, these lessons will give you a foundation about a lot of things, all right? So you learn about how to use TradingView, you learn about market execution. The page is still loading, so that's why you can't see everything. So you learn about how to use the MT4, what a stop loss is. So these are some concepts that I cannot go into great detail at the 2 days bootcamp, right? Because the 2-day bootcamp, we have to compress a lot of things into that short amount of time. All right. So that's why we are doing this continuous education. So you want to go through this foundation, take your time, like I always say. So once you are done with the foundation lessons, right, you want to move to the elite lessons. So the elite lessons is where we talk about the institutional trading concept proper. All right. So let's wait for that to load up. So these are videos that you want to do. And then I'm going to actually update this library in a few days from now, maybe by tomorrow or by Tuesday. I'm going to update these weekly lessons. So the recorded sessions, for example, this particular webinar is recorded. So this recording will be on this weekly lesson so that when you miss the weekly webinars, you can go over it again and watch, you know. So now guys, don't despise these weekly webinars, because there is always going to be a constant upgrade of knowledge. So these weekly webinars are where personally I'll be sharing with you how I'm refining my own trading system. All right, so you don't want to sleep on that. Okay, so let's start with Q&A first before we do some analysis. So if you are here and then you have any questions, all right, so just type your questions in the chat box, or if you want me to unmute you so that you ask your questions, let me know. So you'll be unmuted and then you ask your questions real quick. All right, so let's start with Q&A first, and then we'll go into analysis. Right, everything that you, all you need to know to start trading is in this training video library here. So the work you need to do now is to go through these educational content. I would update these videos this week. So I would actually remove some content from these elite videos, okay, and then update it to something that is easy for you guys. All right. So any questions? Let's start from questions before we start doing analysis. All right. If you want me to unmute you, signify. You can signify in the chat box or just raise your hand with the Zoom features. Okay. So while you're waiting for that, let me do an analysis for you. So I was supposed to show us something on Friday at the conference about the future of Bitcoin, right? So I was telling us where Bitcoin is likely to get to, and based on analysis. So let's do it together. Let's analyze. So Bitcoin, let's go to a very high time frame. So this is the weekly chart on Bitcoin. Now, can we all see this screen clearly? What is the first thing on our checklist, guys? Can someone remind us? Just type it in the chat box. Your checklist for trading. What's the first thing when you see a chart? What's the first thing that you look out for on your checklist? Okay. Market structure. Good. So you want to determine identify market structure. So this is Bitcoin market structure. You have good. So you have the impulse move. You can see you have the corrective move. You have the impulse move, corrective move, impulse move. So Bitcoin, okay, was in an uptrend up until this moment. And then when you check it out, there has been a break of structure. So based on our knowledge of structure, this has happened. This is a higher low that has been broken. All right. So this uptrend that was here has been invalidated because of this break of structure here. So right now, Bitcoin is in a verified downtrend, right? You can see it. Impulse, correction, impulse. So the trend for Bitcoin has officially changed from an uptrend to a downtrend. Now that we know that, let's look at where next is a possible place where Bitcoin is going to get to, right? Let's go to the monthly chart and look at it from a good perspective. Now, this is the monthly chart for Bitcoin. Market structure, impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. Okay, it has also broken higher low on the monthly chart, right? We're broken higher low on the monthly chart. Now, based on our checklist, so step 2 is to identify break of structure. So this is a break of structure. Okay, this right here is a break of structure. And then step 3 is to identify a supply or demand zone. Right now, this was a supply or demand zone, rally, base, drop. And then as you can see, when price got to this place, there was a, let me change this color. There was a small reaction here. Okay, when price got to this demand area, you can see this small move to the upside. But price went ahead to break. So this demand zone, this swing demand zone, okay, was invalidated. All right. So that means the strength, the supply zone, the supply strength is very, very strong. All right. So now, if this demand zone did not hold, we have to now think about the next, where is the next demand zone? Now, this is the first demand zone that did not hold over here, this one. Okay, so if this demand zone did not hold for Bitcoin, where is the next demand zone? Because price moves from a demand zone to a supply zone. When you see price reversing, when you see price buying, it is coming from a demand zone. When you see price selling, it is selling from a supply zone. All right. So if Bitcoin is going to see an upward momentum, that move has to start from a demand zone. Okay, because a demand zone is a zone where buyers are active. It's a zone where there's a lot of mitigation by institutional traders. So if Bitcoin or any pair at all is going to start gaining momentum for an uptrend, that move has to happen from a demand zone. So this first demand zone has been invalidated, right? So we have to now look for the next demand zone. So in doing that, you still have to identify your, so this is structure, impulse, correction, impulse. So the next demand zone, this is the break of structure over here. Okay, so right now, price is at a break of structure zone. Let me delete this. All right, based on our market structure for the uptrend, price is here. Price is at this break of structure over here. And then we know that this right here is not a demand zone. The real demand zone is going to be somewhere here. Okay, so this is rally-based rally over here. Rally-based rally. So we might see some move to this downside. So this is a CP pattern. So price might get here and start going up, because that is the next demand zone. And this is 10,006, about $10,000 actually. Or if this, because CP demand zone is not as strong as the swing demand. So price might tend to use a swing demand. If it's going to use a swing demand, so that is drop base rally. So somewhere around this zone is where price is going to react. So guys, if price does not reverse at $10,000, if price goes below $10,000, then there's a possibility that price might come between $3,000 to $9,000, okay, before we see a bullish move. Before we see a bullish move, guys. What's going on? Give me a second. Okay, good. Before we see a bullish move. Guys, do you understand this analysis? If you get this point, type in yes in the chat box. If you understand this concept that I just described, type in yes. If you don't understand, type in no. All right. So that's how you do analysis. Okay, Mr. Time understands. If you understand, type in yes. If you don't, type in no. Okay. Okay. No. So, Mr. Claver, I don't know if you're a lady or a man, Mr. Samuel, Fatima. Okay. If you are typing no, have you gone through the videos in the library? Okay, so please start from that video. So that will help you understand the checklist. It will help you understand market structure. All right, because the two major things that you'll be doing as a forex trader is to know where to buy and where to sell. So what we have just done is basic analysis. And what we've done is to identify the next demand, the next possible demand zone, because price is going to pick up from a demand zone. Right now, price is not at a demand zone. Now, a lot of people, now check it out. So this is what might also happen with Bitcoin. A lot of people are already buying Bitcoin at this price because this is a previous resistance area, now is support. Okay, that means that is enough liquidity as well. Okay, so when liquidity is taken out, this is the next demand zone that price will move out from. So we might see a bit of move at this point. Maybe price will go up a bit. Maybe price might get to 40K or not. Okay, but price, I believe, will ultimately get to 10,000. Right? I'm not a prophet of doom, you know, but I've seen this work every time. Truly, if price is going to sell, it's going to sell from a supply zone. If price is going to buy, it's going to buy from a demand zone. All right. So the next possible demand for price to buy to gain real momentum, a momentum that will break the all-time high. This is the all-time high over here. A momentum that will break the all-time high over here has to start from a demand zone. All right. So right now, Bitcoin has not gotten to a demand zone yet. Okay, because during COVID, August 2020 was when a lot of people bought Bitcoin. This was where the momentum started 2 years ago. So there's a lot of orders here. There's a lot of liquidity at this point here. Okay. So price would tend to go down here and grab that liquidity before moving up and then breaking the all-time high. So if price for any reason gets to this demand zone, okay, you want to buy some Bitcoin for yourself and keep. And then you know that when Bitcoin gains strength, other crypto follow suit as well. Okay, so that might be a good time to also start looking at some other altcoins to buy and keep. Okay, so this knowledge that you are learning now, it's going to show you the best times in the market to buy. So you are buying and then you are waiting. So that's if you want to hold, but you can do day trading as well with cryptocurrency. Okay, you buy and then you make your profit. Okay, so let's look at some currency pairs. So give me a few pairs. Let's analyze some pairs together. If there's a pair you want me to analyze, put it in the chat box and then we'll join it together. Okay, can we do that? Let me have some pairs to check out. GBP USD. GBP USD, someone said gold. People said gold. So let's start with GBP USD. GBP USD. Okay. Okay. So this is GBP USD. The first thing you want to do is to know what's going on in this market. And the first thing you want to do is to know what is going on the higher time frame. So personally, I like to start my analysis from the weekly or the monthly, just to have a general perspective of where the market is, right? Of where the market is. Now, when you check the monthly, GPUSD, is it in an uptrend or a downtrend, guys? Anybody, type it in the chat box. What is GBP telling us on the monthly? Okay, is it in a downtrend or an uptrend? Oscar said downtrend. Okay, who else agrees with Oscar? Papilo said downtrend. Good. Amos said down. Good. So GPUSD is in a downtrend. Now, that is what monthly is telling us. So there's a lot of supply strength on GPUSD. Okay, so that means the value of the dollar against the US against the British pound is strong. So USD is strong. USD is very, very strong, right? Good. And then let's highlight it. Okay. So this is it. Impulse, correction, impulse. All right. So we are seeing this. All right. So possibly we might see price come down and create a lower low, possibly. So that is if this zone does not hold. Okay, this is the demand zone right here. So we might see a break, or we see a move that will inspire a bullish move, but we don't know anything yet. So you want the market to speak to you. So right now it's in a downtrend. So let's look for a possible setup. So let's go to the weekly and find something to do. Okay, so the weekly is also informing us about the downtrend. So this is a weekly. You can see the downtrend clearly. Okay, impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse. All right, good. So this is the weekly downtrend. Okay, if you're going to use weekly as your setup time frame, that means you want to take entry on the 4 hours. So we know it's a downtrend. Step 2 on your checklist is what? Is to identify breakout structure. This right here is the breakout structure. Okay, so price has broken structure. and then you are waiting for price to reverse. So price has done this, has broken structure. So now, if this downtrend is going to hold, if this downtrend that we have is going to continue, you want price to reverse into a supply zone. So the supply zone on this guy is where you can see this rally base drop, right? Rally base drop or rally base drop. So we have a swing supply here. This right here is a swing supply. All right, this is a breakout structure right here. So now, if you're someone that likes to do swing trading, that means you now have to start waiting. You wait for price to come up here. So when price comes up, print into the zone, you now want to start looking for entries. Okay, so when price gets here on the 4-hour charts, you start looking for entries. Now, because we have an understanding of what price, okay, my line is breaking. Can we all hear me clearly now? If I'm very, very audible, type in 1. If you can hear me clearly, type in 1. Okay, just be sure that we are good to go. Okay, thank you so much. Good. Now, I said that based on our weekly analysis of GBPUSD, we know that this pair is in a downtrend. And then this is our breakout structure over here. And now we are expecting price to come up into this supply zone for a continuation to the downside to form a lower low. Okay, but price has not gotten up here yet. Price is not at this supply zone yet. So because we already know the market structure, right? The next thing that we can start looking for is a move. Let's delete it. Because we know that price is going to come up into this zone, right? We can start looking for an opportunity to buy GBPUSD into this supply zone, because the higher time frame has given us an idea about what price might do. We don't know yet if price will go up. But if we see a setup that aligns with our strategy, we know that for sure price is going to get into the supply zone. So you can look for buy opportunities into this supply zone. All right, so let's see if we can see an opportunity to buy this pair. So it is either we see a buy opportunity into the supply zone, or we see a sell opportunity that will take it further down. Okay, so we don't have any more information on the weekly. So the weekly has given us a clue as to what can happen. So let's go to a lower time frame to see a possible setup. So this is the daily chart. Okay, this is daily chart. You can see, so daily has done its thing. Daily, there was a reaction, okay, impulse, correction, impulse. There was a reaction at this supply zone. So price started moving down from a supply zone. All right, good. So now, what is daily telling us, guys? So daily will of course give us another perspective as to what price is trying to do. Excuse me. All right. So overall, we can say that price is still very much on the downtrend. If you take it like this, impulse, correction, impulse. Right. So this is a break of structure here. So price broke structure but we haven't seen any real move into a supply zone yet. All right. So on the daily, we are still expecting price to get to a supply zone if a move will happen. All right. So we can look for buy opportunities into this supply zone. All right. So daily is not giving me any good setup for entry. Okay, so let's go to the 8 hours chart. Right? Is 8 hours giving me a buy? So let's look for a buy setup or sell setup on 8 hours. Okay, if I will buy this particular pair into this supply zone here, I want to see an established uptrend. Okay, if I will buy this pair, I want price to have printed an uptrend like this. In a second, I want price to have printed an uptrend like this, and then I wait for price to come back down into a demand zone. Over here is where, hold on. So I'll be waiting for price to come down here. So that is if I'll buy. So I want price to print this buy opportunity. Yes, guys, I'm so sorry for the poor signal. Okay, you know, our Cyprus internet, something else. All right, we're all in the same Cyprus together. So if I'm going to buy this pair, I want to see this particular scenario. I want to see an uptrend printed, and then price will come down here. All right, hold on. I need to close this. All right. Am I communicating, guys? Am I communicating so far? We are analyzing this pair together. Okay. So we are looking for a buy setup or a sell setup for the continuation to the downside. All right, good. We have 45 people on this call. Awesome. Okay. So let's go to the 4 hours chart. Good. So this is a 4 hours chart. So 4 hours chart is giving us a scenario here. So on the 4 hours chart, we are seeing the downtrend continuation. Okay, we are seeing impulse move, correction, impulse. Okay, that's your market structure. That's your step 1 on checklist. Right. Step 2 is to identify your break of structure. This is your break of structure. Right. This is your break of structure. Now, step 3. So price is at a break of structure zone. So step 3 is to identify a supply or a demand zone. Now, in this case, that we've identified a downtrend on the 4 hours chart. Are we looking for a supply zone or a demand zone? Please type it in the chat box. Are we looking for a supply zone or a demand zone? Anybody help us out? Supply zone, thank you. Simple, right? So what is the supply zone that we have here? Okay, you have rally, base, drop over here. This right here is a supply zone. Right? Base drop. Okay, so we might say it is safe now to wait for price to enter this zone. So when price gets into this zone, okay, you want to look for a sell opportunity here using our entry confirmations. So if this zone should hold, this will be what will inform the move that will create a lower low. Okay. Now, remember that we started from the monthly time frame, and then we are following the trend. We are taking entry based on what the higher time frame is telling us. Okay, based on what the high time frame is telling us. So we know that from the monthly time frame, it gave us an established downtrend. Daily as well gave us an established downtrend. Okay, 8 hours gave us an established downtrend. 4 hours as well gave us an established downtrend. So we are trading with what the market is telling us. The market is letting us know that price is still very much in a downtrend. So until this trend changes to an uptrend, I'm not interested in buying yet. Okay, I've not seen anything that gives me an uptrend here yet. Okay, so this is a setup that we can wait for. So when market opens in the next few hours, okay, so this might take 1 day or 2 days to print. All right, so when price gets here, you are good to go. And guys, what I've also noticed about price movement from supply and demand zones is that a lot of times, the real move always happens start from Tuesday to Thursday, Friday is where price usually takes up from supply or demand zones. Okay, usually from Tuesday, Wednesday is usually a good time to start looking for setup. So when you have seen this happen over and over again, you can start looking for entries only on Tuesday. So you can decide to use Mondays for your analysis because you know that there isn't enough momentum on Mondays, except you are trading on very, very lower time frames. But every day is a good day to trade. Okay, so far you see your setups align. So far your checklist align. Okay, you are good to go. But I've seen a pattern that have happened a lot of times. Usually the main moves always happen on Tuesday, as from Tuesday. So moves happen on Monday, but it won't be as strong as how it's going to pick up on Tuesday. So now you are just waiting. It's now a waiting game for GBP USD now. You are waiting for price to come into this supply zone. So when price gets into the supply zone, you want to start looking for entries. Okay, so this is what I do. In order not to forget that I have a setup that I'm waiting for, I use the concept of alerts. I use alerts, right? So TradingView gives you an opportunity to add alerts on your chart so that when price gets to that particular price point, you'll be alerted. They'll send you an email. Okay, if you have your TradingView app installed on your phone, they'll send you a push notification. You can also connect it to your so when your Telegram web, this platform now is also open, they will notify you. It will ring that price has gotten here. So what do I do? So here I just right click on where you want to set, right click, you see add alert. Add alert. So when I click on add alert, just click on, you can name it. Okay, look for entry here. Okay, H4. Okay, so when price starts going up, you can see these yellow dotted lines now. That is the alert area. So when price starts going up, maybe from this week, and then it touches, when price gets to this place, I will be notified that, okay, price is now in the zone where I want to look for entries. So the concept of alert makes it easy for me not to be checking my charts all day. Okay, so once I've done my analysis and I set my alerts, I'll now be only checking my charts when I get notified. Okay, Papilo, I've shown you how to set alert now. Okay, do you get it now? It's just simple. If you're on your web, just right click on where you want price to get to. Okay, and then set your alert. They are good to go. So that's my analytics for GBP USD. Okay, so let's see if you can see another opportunity. So when you go to lower time frame, for example, okay, nothing on lower time frame for like a buy, nothing on, nothing. Okay, so check it out. So this is a 30 minutes chart. This is a 30 minutes chart. Now we know that price. Now this is the beauty of trading. Now we know that price is likely to get to this zone, right? So there's still a move that needs to happen, right? Good. So, and then on lower time frame, you are seeing an established uptrend. See impulse, correction, impulse. So if for any reason, this is 30 minutes, you see a retracement. So this is a demand zone here. Drop, base, rally. Okay, drop, base, rally over here. If price here. So if price does not go up immediately, so we know that price should go here, right? But if price does not go here immediately and then chooses to retrace, if price should retrace into this is a demand zone, you can now look for buy opportunities in this demand zone, and then you want to, when you buy, you want to look for, so this would be your destination, because this would be your exit, your take profits, because based on higher time frame, you know that price is supposed to get to this place. So on a lower time frame, you are taking entry based on the direction that the higher time frame told you. Guys, if it's making sense, type makes sense. Harmony doesn't understand which part, guys. Which part don't you understand, Harmony? Be clear. Is it the alert side or analysis? Leonora. Okay, Leonora said I should repeat the alert setting. Okay, so Leonora, the alert setting is simple. So let me go to the 4 hours again. All right. Leonora, so I'm saying based on our analysis on H4, we see a downtrend established. Impulse, correction, impulse. Price is at your break of structure. You know that a lot of time price will go beyond the break of structure zone. So this is the next supply, swing supply. So this is where you are looking for entries. So, but how do I know when price will get to this zone? I'm not interested in checking my chart every minute. I want to be alerted. Okay, so let me delete this real quick. So what do? I set an alert to where I want to be notified. So this is where, this area is where I want price to get to before I start looking for entries. So this area is where I set alert. So I put my cursor here, and then if you're on your laptop, you right click, you see this option, you see add alert. Add alert. When you click on add alert, this box will come up. You can see now on this box now you have a lot of options. Okay, so you can see alert option, alert actions. It will notify you on app. That is if you have the app downloaded, the mobile app of TradingView, you get notified by a push notification. Also, show pop-up is for people on the web page. If you are on this the web app of TradingView, it will show you a pop-up and then ring, so that you know that something is happening. Go and check your chat. They will also send you an email. All right. So if you are at alert, there's no way you miss it. So you have 3 avenues to be notified. All right. And you can also now choose to label your alert, because you might have multiple alerts. So how do you know which alert is which and what to look out for? So that's why it's good to label. So that labeling is up to you. It's up to you. All right. So then you click on create, and then that is there. Now, one thing though, yes, it will pop up. Mr. Fred said, I don't understand my structures. Which of the structures? Now, one thing though about the alert is that if you are on the free TradingView plan, I think you can only set one alert. If you are on the free TradingView, you can only set one alert. So that means if you want to use the alert function for all your currency pairs, you might need to upgrade. Okay, Mr. Clever said pause it now. Okay, I hope I'm clear now. I'll try and get another internet connection. I have 2 internet connections actually. I have NetHouse and Tixel. So NetHouse is not working good tonight. So maybe I'll get Extend or something else this week. All right, but I think I'm good now with the network. All right, so let's check out another pair because of time. So for the person that said we should analyze GBP USD, did we analyze it correctly? Does it make sense to you? Let me check. I think it was Mr. Who was it? Let me check. Who person for GBP USD? Mr. Amos. Mr. Amos and Oscar. Is it clear? So let's do gold now. Gold was requested by Papilo, and then Frank will do USD next. All right, Mr. Salim also asked for, okay, CHIP. So let's do like 2 or 3 more pairs analysis, and then we are done for the night. All right. Okay. Where is that thing? So gold. Let's do gold. Now, if you are a beginner in forex trading, I wouldn't really recommend gold for you as a beginner, except you are practicing on demo. Okay, because gold is something else, so you have to be very careful trading gold. And then the way you calculate pips with gold is different than every other currency pair. So gold is calculated in points. Okay, yes, Mr. Manuel, gold has very high volatility, right? But market structure is the same everywhere. So it's the same market structure. So let's start from the monthly chart for gold, just to have a good perspective of where price is, you know. So when you look at gold is in a general uptrend. Okay, gold is in an overall uptrend, as you can see over here. And also when you move close to current market price, you will see this as well. Impulse, correction, impulse. Okay, and price is in a demand zone. Okay, rally base rally over here. So price is in a demand zone. That is on the monthly chart, guys. So price has come down into a demand zone on the monthly. Okay, guys, I'm back. Okay, so on the monthly, price is back to a demand zone. All right, so that means if price is in a demand zone, you should be looking for an opportunity to buy. Mr. Samuel, I think is back now. So let's manage it for tonight. I think it's good now. So monthly is saying that price is in a demand zone for gold. So that means right now the buyers are active, looking for platforms to buy. Okay, so let's see what weekly is telling us. Weekly, okay, saying the same thing. All right, saying the same thing, and then overall uptrend, price is in a demand zone as well. You can see this impulse, correction, impulse. So price is in a demand zone. This demand zone here. Drop base rally here. Okay. Demand zone on weekly. So let's check out daily. So our buyers right now is a buy. So weekly is telling us a different story. Okay, are we going to, is that demand zone going to hold or not? Okay, on weekly, current market price, the current move somewhere here is giving us a downtrend. It's giving us a downtrend, something like that. And then check this out. Now we are seeing something like this: impulse, correction, impulse. Okay. Now we have not really seen a break of this. We've not really seen a break of this point yet, like that. Okay. Just this small wick, which we can neglect. You know, so that means based on this is a downtrend. We might expect price to move up a bit towards here. And then because we also know that over here, based on the higher time frames, this zone is a demand zone. Based on the weekly, this is a demand zone on the weekly. Let's go to the weekly. You see that zone outside. So this is a demand zone on the weekly. Right? Because we saw this zone on weekly. Draw base rally over here. All right. And then what you can also see is that liquidity there was a liquidity grab on this move here. So people that put their stop loss somewhere here. Now check this out. The stop loss here. You can see that they were wicked out of that trade. You can see this week. Those who put their stop loss here, they were wicked out of the trade. Okay, So there has been a liquidity grab, okay, in a demand zone. So we are looking for an opportunity to buy. So weekly is saying that price is in a demand zone. And then we have also seen a liquidity grab. Okay, that's how many pips grab from here to here. Okay, for gold, how much is this? Maybe like 30 pips or something like that. Okay, small. Let us go ahead. So let's go to the daily. So our buyers for gold still is still to buy gold, but we don't have a clear setup to buy yet, except you want to use you want to enter on the 4 hours. So let's use your weekly. So weekly setup is saying that gold is in a demand. So this is a demand zone here. Is it clear so far for that person that asked for gold? So this is a demand zone of gold. Okay, there's a cluster actually. These are under demand zone for gold. Draw base rally. There's a cluster here, and a lot of times I like to look for price should have gotten to the middle, at least the middle. Okay, I think price has done that. Let me use my fees for example. Like this is my Fibonacci. So price has gotten to the 50% of that move. Okay, so we can start looking for entries. So if you have gone through the education, so I can remove this because price has touched this demand zone here. Now, if you have gone through the education, you will see that over here, okay, you see that over here, price has formed some sort of another block. So let's go to the, so if your setup is on the weekly, where do you look for entries? Please type it on the chat box. If you see a setup on the weekly, where do you go to on lower time frame to look for entry? Let me know in the chat box. 4 hours. Lugan Gira said 1 hour. No, it's not 1 hour. It's 4 hours. Yeah. 4 hours. Thank you. So let's go to the 4 hours. This is where the candle closed over here. Okay. So let's go to the 4 hours and then we can look for an entry. Okay. So over here, so this is another block that's been formed. There's a zone here that happened. I don't want to go too deep into this. So start by watching the videos first. Okay, so let me just don't talk about it at all. So let's look at what's going on. Current market price. Price is back into the zone. And based on what we learned in the session yesterday, was it on Friday? So I showed us how to use 2 indicators. So let us stick with that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to update the library tomorrow by the grace of God with an in-depth explanation using those 2 indicators. So I will also send the direct link to the Telegram tomorrow when I'm done, right? So over here, let's check out our, if we have to take entry at this demand zone, let's check out our Ichimoku. As price cross the conversion line, yes. Okay, the next one is your RSI. As price cross the RSI, yes. All right. So if you had seen this last week on Friday, this is 1st of July on Friday. If we have seen this on Friday, you are taking most likely your first entry here. And then you would have been a profit of how many pips now from here to here. will have been in maybe 50 pips profit now. That's if I'm using the pips thing correctly. Okay, so we'll have been in profit on gold right now. Okay, but mind you, because it's going to be Monday, markets might open and then you might get a retracement to maybe like half of this move. Okay, or price will retest this demand zone possibly before going all the way up. But trust me, this is a confirmed demand zone. Okay, so you want to wait. So because you missed this particular setup now, you want to wait for an uptrend to establish on a lower time frame. So this is a 4-hour chart now. If you go to, let's say, the 1-hour chart, okay, let me do that of this. If you go to the 1-hour chart, price is in a demand zone. Okay, so let me see if it is clear on good. So on 30 minutes, this is clear. So on 30 minutes, you have an uptrend, impulse, correction, impulse. All right, so this right here is your break of structure. So now if price should retrace, you are waiting for price to retrace into where? This zone, drop, base, rally. So if you miss that first entry on the 4-hour chart, you can take another entry here. So if price should retrace into the zone, so you wait for price to come into the zone and then you wait for your entry confirmations. So this is a setup on the 30 minutes chart. So that means if price should retrace into this demand zone, you want to go to your 1-minute chart, okay, to take entry. So that means you'll be scalping and then you have amazing risk to reward. Is that clear? Is that clear? Let me know in the chat box, that person. So let's do, Mr. Salim said, is Mr. Salim still on this call? Let me check. Yes, all of those stop loss thing I'll give you in the video. But for stop loss, you want to use, I'll talk about something. For this move, you're using your fibs, right? You want to put your stop loss somewhere around here at the 0.236, right? But I would explain that in the video clearly for us, okay? So because this session is just for analysis, okay? So when you enter here, where is it? This is your entry. So if we enter somewhere around here, and then your stop loss here. Now, because this is your setup entry, this is your setup time frame, we're not going to be entering on the 30 minutes chart. So we're going to be entering on the 1-hour chart. On the 1 minute chart rather. So that particular stop loss will be a stop loss based on your entry time frame, not your setup time frame. Someone is asking, what area do you suggest for? Yeah. So this is a zone. So if you are taking entry in this zone, your stop loss will be somewhere here, somewhere in this zone. So that will be based on your entry, based on what happened. But if you are taking, so for example, now let's say you are taking entry on the 4-hour chart now. Okay, this was an entry on 4 hours. So let me use 4 hours. Let's erase all of this. Let's erase this. So you are taking entry on the 4-hour chart now. This is what I do. I use the Fibonacci tool. So from the move, from the start of the move to where my entry is, okay, this is my entry. My stop loss, I'll put it here since I'm on the 4 hours over here at 0.236, somewhere here. All right. So this is my entry because it's a swing trade, long position. Somewhere here. Okay. And where will I put my take profits? I go to the weekly chart because that's my setup time frame. Okay. So my take profit to be at this place. Impulse, correction, impulse. So I want price to be here. Where is it? Yeah. So I'll have a risk to reward of 1 to 17 on this swing trade. Okay, so let's check out another pair, GBP/JPY. Now, GJ and GU kind of have similar moves, but let's check GBP/JPY. Good people, is that clear? All right, Papilo, nice. So GBP/JPY is letting us know, is giving us on weekly. So let's start from monthly to have a good perspective. So on monthly, what do we have for this guy? Is it on the monthly? Is it on a downtrend or an uptrend? What is this guy telling us? Overall perspective of the market. Okay, Lugan said downtrend. Papilo said sideways. Adekunle said uptrend. Okay, Ms. Adekunle, I see what you see. Okay, but that's, so let us analyze. In fact, on the monthly, is not giving us a good perspective, but this is what we see: impulse, correction, impulse. Okay, and then we saw this broke the structure here, and then we see this. Okay, so there had not been so based on the monthly chart, there had not been an established downtrend yet on GJ, because for the downtrend to be established on GJ, on the monthly radar, there has to be a lower low. But price has not even broken this lower low. All right. Okay, so price is still very much, we can say price is bullish. Price is tending towards bullish than bearish based on the monthly. Okay. Now, also on the monthly, you're also seeing this over here. Also saying this impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. All right. Can you see it? You can also see it here. Impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. So an uptrend on this guy, right? So let's go to the weekly chart to have a clearer perspective of what's going on. So on the weekly as well, what do we see? We see an uptrend as well on the weekly. So let's just mark it all out, right? Impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. It's a week, but I'll still kind of consider it though. Let's see, is it above? Yes, it's above. Okay, it's above. So now this is your break of structure at the top here, right? Now the next thing will be for you to identify a demand zone. So this is a demand zone here. You have drop, base, rally, and then you have rally, base, rally. So we can say this is the zone. So on the weekly chart, price is in a demand zone already. Price is a demand zone already. So on weekly is telling you that there's a buy pressure here. All right, there's a buy pressure here. So price has been wicked into this. So let's go to 4 hours, which would be your entry time frame. Hold on. Let me identify candle close here. This is what candle hold. Hey, Mr. Bangen, nice one, bro. Thank you. So 4 hours. Okay. So you see a reaction here. So let's see if we can see an entry. Okay. Let's check your RSI. So for your RSI, it has not crossed above this yellow line yet, above the moving average. Okay, so we are not confirmed for a buy yet. You can see this guy, it has not crossed above this guy. Okay, so we are waiting for a cross above this yellow line for us to be sure that okay, the move is ready to go up. So we are not taking an entry yet. All right. So let's let me use Akinashi and check. All right. So Akinashi, I will explain this as well in the video that I'll send maybe tomorrow or during the week. I will explain the concept of Akinashi. So Akinashi is also giving us an exhaustion or indecision. So it might be a pointer that okay, this guy will so cross to give us a buy opportunity. Okay, but there's no entry yet on this guy. So we are going to wait. Okay, so we are waiting for your entry confirmation. But we know that price is in a demand zone. That's on weekly. All right. So we buy. So we are looking for buy. So nothing yet, Mr. What's your name? Mr. Lugangira. Okay, I wouldn't take entry for a buy yet because it's not ready for me yet. But this is a demand zone. You want to be looking for buy opportunities here because it's bullish, definitely. Okay, the name of the popular indicator is the RSI, the relative strength index. All right, good. So let's check out Mr. Salim. I see on the call. Mr. Salim asked for. Okay, you're still around. You asked for AED-CHF, right? Let's check out one pair and then we are done. AED-CHF or NZD-CHF. Okay. So this is the weekly chart. Let's go to the monthly chart. You know, monthly and weekly will good, even though you might not enter on the, you might not have a setup on monthly and weekly. It just gives you an ideology of where price is price tending towards the buy or sell. Okay, so when you check out now, guys, check out NZD-CHF. Is it in an uptrend or a downtrend? Check it out. Is it an uptrend or a downtrend? Overall perspective of this guy. Okay, Leroy said downtrend. Emma said downtrend. Who else? Lugan said downtrend. Okay, let us check it out. Let's check it out. So if we take it from here, impulse, correction, input, no, impulse, correction, impulse, correction. Okay, good. So downtrend, price is back to a supply area. All right. And then what do we also see? Over here on monthly, we're also seeing, based on coin market price, we're also seeing a downtrend formation here. Impulse, correction, impulse. So price already reacted at this supply zone, and then that zone is already pushing price downward here. Okay, you can see this break of structure here. So possibly, who knows, possibly we might see price retracing into this supply zone. This is a supply zone, possibly. Drop based drop, possibly. Okay, because that's the next supply zone. Or price just keeps going all the way down to form a lower low. We don't know yet. So monthly is giving us a perspective. So a very, very solid downtrend. Okay, a very solid downtrend. And then are we near the end of the move? You can enter trades on TradingView if TradingView accepts you to connect your broker to TradingView. I think only a few brokers can be connected to TradingView, maybe like 3 or 4 brokers. Okay, so your best bet is MetaTrader 4 or 5 rather. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now we can also see this. Now let me show you this because of time. Now we have this as well. Impulse, impulse, correction, impulse. You can see this, that price broke a lower high here. All right. Just for analysis purposes, just understand what I'm trying to say. And then this is a demand area as well. So price is in a swing demand zone. All right. Price is also giving us an information here. We have this downtrend here, impulse, correction, impulse. So if price is in a demand zone over here, okay, that means possibly we might expect a retracement move into this supply zone by somewhere here. Hold on, that's somewhere here. Okay, so we might see price move all the way up here, right? Before continuing down. Make sense? So that's NZD-CHF, Mr. Salim. So let's go ahead to analyze. So let's go to the weekly chart. Okay, to get a clearer perspective of the market on weekly. All right. So you can see the clear downtrend here. Impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. Okay. So this is a break of structure area. So you're expecting price to come back into a demand zone, into a supply zone rather. So this is a supply zone here. Okay, so price will probably come here. Okay, so if price is going to come into this zone, something must push it into the zone. So it has to be a demand zone that will push price up. And then can we find a demand zone that might push price up so that we can take entries? Possibly, right? So let's align. So this is impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. So now this right here, let me make it. You're just taking everything into consideration. So over here is a demand zone. You can see it's drop, base, rally. You can see it's drop, base, rally. Okay. So if we mark it out, can we see a reaction there? We don't know yet, but possibly. So right. So good. As you can see, price is in this demand zone, which might be what we need to move price into this supply zone. Making sense? So we have seen this setup on the weekly chart here now. So price is in a demand zone on weekly. We also know that that if this demand zone should hold, that means the next possible destination is this supply zone here, right? So you want to now go to your entry time frame on the 4 hours here. In this zone now, on the 4 hours, you want to look for buy opportunities. And when you take entry, you want to exit at this zone here. So this will be your exit area, because you know this is a supply zone and this is a demand. So let's go to the 4-hour chart, because that would be our entry time frame, right? Because what am I doing? Okay, so 4 hours, we look for entries. Making sense? So we can see a lot of activity here. We are seeing this. This is a liquidity grab here. You can see this move grab liquidity before going up. All right. Let me go back to weekly. I'm coming. The week ended. Okay. We're here. So we could have actually entered. So let's bring up your Ichimoku. Okay, bring up your Ichimoku. So this would have been a good place to enter last week. That was on Friday. Let's see if it aligned with your RSI. Okay, your RSI also confirmed it. Your RSI confirmed the move here. Make sense? Your RSI confirmed the move here. So this was a good entry on NZD-CHF for a buy here. So because tomorrow is Monday Monday, there's weak volume in the market and fake movement in the market on Monday. So on Monday, fake movement might be a retracement. So tomorrow, you might see that price will lose momentum. And then you see that price will gain it back on Tuesday into that supply zone. I should go over the indicator setup. Okay, I'll go over it shortly now. I think this is last area doing. So if you miss this entry on Friday, how do you enter again? You look for an established buy trend, an established uptrend, and then you take entry. So if you go to the 30 minutes, let's see. Can we see an uptrend on 30 minutes? Possibly. So this is a move. Impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. Okay, you can see it. That's on 30 minutes. You're trying to get another entry now, another perfect entry, since you missed that move. Abi? So what are you waiting for? You want to identify your break of structure. This is your break of structure over here. And then you identify your demand zone. Drop, base, rally, right? Here. You see that price already got into the zone. Price already hit the zone. Okay, over here. So you're gonna go to your 1 minute chart to look for entries in this zone. Okay, so you can actually take entry, but there will be a lot of high spread in the market at market open. So if you want to wait. If price should do that, you might wait for price to come down a bit, if it ever does that, so that you don't get put into the market at a very awkward price. So let market stabilize first before you enter, and then you buy here. Okay, but price should buy with every indication. Okay, is that clear? Guys, if you are getting value so far, type in value in the chat box. We have been here for over an hour. We are running up now, so that we can do something else. Okay, so I can do something else. Okay, all right. Let's go. Also, if you can, post what you learned today on the Telegram channel, so that we inspire other people to join the next weekly session. Okay, good. So let's quickly go over how to set up the Ichimoku for Mr. Manuel. So I'm going to leave it at reset setting. So this is the way the Ichimoku is. When you add it to your chart, so to add it to your chart, you come to the top here, you see your indicators. And then you want to search for Ichimoku cloud. Once you search for it, and then you see it, and then you click on it to come on your chart. You can see these nasty drawings. That's the Ichimoku cloud. But you don't need everything. I don't use everything, but there are some people that use everything. It's not necessary. I only need the conversion line. So I'm going to streamline this. So you're going to come to at the top here and click on this wheel icon, settings, to set your Ichimoku. I'm going to set it. Then you want to untick the baseline, remove lagging span, remove leading span, remove leading span B, remove this plot. So you are only leaving the conversion line. Under style, leave only the conversion line, and then come to input. This conversion line strength, change it from 9 to 6. That's what's important thing. Okay, if you want to use it, well, change this from 26 to 13. change this 52 to 26, this 26 to 13, and then you're done. That is the settings for the Ichimoku. All right, good. So guys, any questions so far before we wrap up tonight? Okay. Any questions before we wrap up? As you see setups on your own, you can feel free to post it on the group. If you need any confirmations on setups, also post on the group, and then you possibly get a response. Any questions? We should be out of here in the next 5 minutes max, so that we can do other things. Any questions? Okay, so Mr. Abid, I hope you are getting value, Abid. Archer Samuel. So for everybody, if you are on this call, this webinar, and then you won the raffle draw, okay, you will be contacted this week. Okay, so the broker, your account officer is going to call you this week and walk you through everything. I would also follow up to ensure that your account is funded. So your account will be funded, okay, so that you can start trading. Ichimoku is free. Fred, is free. It's a free indicator. You're welcome, Gangira. Amos is asking, if I want to compound an account, how many reasonable lot size can I use? So compounding depends on you. Depends on how much you want to risk per trade. So let's quickly do this. Now, there's a way to know. So let's go to a new tab. All right. So how do you know the right lot size to use based on the risk you are willing to take? So come to your browser and search for position size calculator. Position size calculator. So this is an application provided by my FX book. My FX book owns this. So when you search for it, give me a second, guys. When you search for it, the first one you see it, project calculator, you click on it. Have I clicked on it? Good. Let's give a second to load. You click on it, and then it will help you to know the exact lot size you are supposed to be using based on your account size and the pair that you are trading. So if you are trading Euro USD, your currency is USD. So they'll ask you, what's your account size? If your account size is, let's say, continue. If your account size is, let's say, $100 now, for example, and then your risk ratio talks about how much do you want to risk on that particular trade. So if you are compounding, Zaimus, for compounding, you are taking maybe like high risk or something. Depends on you. So let's say you are taking 10% risk per trade. So that means worst case scenario, if you lose that particular trade, you only lost 10% of your account. So stop loss, of course, before you enter a trade, you know what your stop loss is. So the value of your stop loss in pips. So let's say your stop loss is 5 pips, and then leave this trade lots as 1. Then click on calculate. So you can see, Amos. So for $100 account, risking 10%, the lot size that you use is 0.2. That is your lot size. For somebody trading with, let's say, $50, for example, it will be different with the same parameter. So that will be 0.1. If you are trading with the same amount and then your risk ratio is high, so let's say you are risking half of your account per trade. You can see your lot size will be 0.5. So this particular website will help you determine the appropriate lot size based on your risk. Okay, so if you want to compound or you want to do conservative trading, come here to get the exact lot size that you should be using. Is that clear, Simos? Okay, you're welcome. Abid, I will send in the recording. All right, so you can take time and go through the recording as well. I'll send on the group. Okay. Emmanuel is asking, how can I connect the 10 trade? Okay, so you cannot connect 10 trade to TradingView. You cannot connect 99.9% of brokers to TradingView, because TradingView only accepts from maybe like 4 to 5 brokers, and there are over 1,000 brokers out there. Okay, so you can only connect to your MT5. Okay, awesome. So guys, thank you for coming on this call. If you have any questions, feel free to ask your question on the Telegram chat, and also let me know what you learned tonight by posting on the Telegram. God bless everybody, and I wish us a very, very profitable trading week. Good night, guys. Cheers.